Hi, I'm Chris and this is the first video on my new channel, Just Fun Guitar. And I thought for my first video I'd keep it really simple and just do some guitar accessories. That's something that's very important to guitar players in general and very simple for me to show you. So I'm going to start off with guitar straps, then guitar strap locks and a guitar maintenance mat. Again, very useful things for guitar players, and of course a quick look at my new Japanese Stratocaster, and I'll take a full look at that in a full review video later on, but for now let's just take a quick look at this and check out some accessories. So first of all, take a look at the simplest thing, which is guitar straps. Now this is a simple nylon guitar strap and I do like these. These are fairly inexpensive. I usually buy the Only Ball ones, which are around £7, free delivery from Amazon. And I do like them, they're quite useful. Obviously they're not going to last as long as a really quality product and they don't always look as nice, but they get the job done. This was actually free with a guitar that I purchased second hand. It has some strap locks fitted which are incompatible with the ones I use, so I'll probably take them off at some point. But what I like about it is it does have the plastic buckle on it rather than the metal one, and that means it's less likely to chip the paint or the wood on my guitar. So that's a little bit better in my opinion, and that's fine. I'll take a closer look at that shortly. But the ones that I think are better, and I do recommend, cost a bit more, like these Fender ones. And these have a nice feel to them, a decent texture. They still have the nylon, but they also have what I think is maybe cotton here, and a nice pattern. So it makes your guitar stand out just a little bit more, and it's more hard wearing because it's that double layer and a little bit softer. Now you can get some of these Fender ones that come with a metal buckle. I don't like those. I like these because it has the plastic buckle, and as I said, that's safer for your instruments. So that's just a personal thing. These come in various prices. I got this one today in the high street from a shop for £15. So that's a ballpark figure for you here in the UK, what that cost. And it's nice. I've had a few of these Fender ones. They're not too bad at all. I've probably got them all now, but it's nice. And I thought, as this is a Fender guitar, why not have a Fender strap for it? So that's what I've gone and done. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the strap locks next. Then we're going to fit them onto this strap and onto this guitar, and I'll show you the difference between strap locks and ordinary strap connectors. And I think you'll agree the strap locks are far better in terms of securing your instrument and safety. So here is, as I said, some fitted strap locks, and this is how they work. They have a mechanism that you pull, and when you do, it basically unlocks the strap from the guitar. That's how it works. Okay, so that's just to show you some that's fitted already. We're going to fit some from scratch. Here is where you attach them. Now this comes with this piece here, this piece of lace. Not all guitar straps come with this. This one does, and that is for connecting an acoustic guitar. So that's handy if you want to use that mechanism, and I do keep these. So there you have it. And of course we want to remove the Fender logo here, a little Fender card. So I use some clips. These are very handy tools for things like this, but also for clipping guitar strings. When you want to change strings, I usually just cut them off, and it makes it quicker for me to get them out. We also have in the other end on this little Fender plastic logo. It's very cool. It's a peg they use to hang it on the stand. So now once you've removed those, you can see you have the two holes that we're going to apply the strap locks to. The other thing to know about straps is adjusting them to the correct size, and you do that using the buckle here, and you can make them longer or you can make them shorter. You want to sort of adjust it to basically your size. And I like my guitars sort of medium. I don't like them up here, I don't like them down there, I like them just in the middle. Now the brand I like is Schaller, but you can get whichever ones you like. They come at different price points. I like these because I find them to be very stable, very easy to install, and I find them to be durable, and they look good. I think they look quite nice. Also, by using one standard, I find that my straps are interchangeable with my guitars. So I can take any strap I like and attach it to a different guitar and that's just, you know, nice. I like that because I don't have to use the same strap. So if I want to change the colour around or the style around, whatever, I can do that without having to install new strap locks. So I use the shallow ones. There you go. These cost between £15 and £20 depending where you buy them, I think, and that's fairly standard. But there's other brands in the same price range. You can get some clones. I don't know what they're like because I haven't really used them. So we just open this up and basically get these out, and we're going to take a look at that along with the mats next, and I'll show you what that's for. Now these tools are pretty essential, as I said, for clipping things. You want one of those, and this adjustable spanner is fairly essential to this task, so you do need one of those. And of course other tools are pretty handy to have. Ask me about tools in the comments if you're interested. I know a lot of you guys know this stuff, but for beginners or people that haven't done it before, very happy to discuss it. That's why we do these videos. And you need a Phillips screwdriver with different heads on. I find that it is very helpful. And of course your strap locks themselves. Now just before we open them, I'm going to talk about this. This is my guitar maintenance mat, and it's just basically a very soft pad that you can put your guitar on to stop it taking knocks and scrapes or knocking your table. My wife wouldn't be happy if I go scratching at the table. And of course, brand new guitar. I don't mind natural relicking on guitars, but I don't really want to take a brand new guitar and knock it about straight away. So there you go. And of course you have this component. Now this set is a clear water set, only one I've had so far. I'm not needing to replace them or change them yet. I probably will get different ones through time. But it's just basically a very soft faux leather type of material with a bit of stitching, and it just really lets you rest the guitar's neck on there and supports it, while of course this part supports the body. Now what's interesting is there's nothing here that's chamfered to support the neck if you put a lot of weight on it, and that would be bad. Okay, so it's fine just for resting the guitar for simple tasks like this one. So what I'm going to do now is get the guitar in place, and then we're going to have a look at the strap locks as well. So here we have my lovely hybrid Japanese Strat, and it's now in place. What we're going to do is we're going to just quickly take a look at the existing strap connectors, and then we'll remove them, because when I come to review this guitar, these original ones won't be on. So I want to quickly show them now. So with this guitar, as I said, you have to be careful you don't put too much pressure down, because there's nothing supporting underneath here. That's not what this is for. But it does give a bit of elevation, which is good for messing with strings and tuners and things like that. What we're going to do is take this off and take this one off. So we're going to take a quick look at that as it is, and then I'll show you what to do next. So first thing we do is you'll notice in here you have a standard Phillips type of screw just inside there that holds this lock in place, same as the other side of the guitar. And what we're going to do is basically unscrew that. So you have to get a screwdriver with the appropriate screwdriver head on it in order to remove the screw. So we're going to do that now. And I always keep the screws and the original locks. I always keep them because I feel that they're part of the guitar, and I like the option of putting them back on if I ever wanted to. But once you've took it off, you'll see you get the little hole there, which is pretty standard stuff. And we do the same with the other side. So again, just for the same with this end, I've actually put a soft cushion here just to help raise it a little and give me a little bit of extra support and security. But we're going to do exactly the same thing with this side and just remove the screw. So we're just going to do that. So once we've done that, we then have our strap locks out, and you can see, like I say, I keep the original locks, and you do get these extra two long screws in the pack, and I find that those are too long normally for my guitars, but they're probably good for basses or certain kinds of guitars, and you can tell if they're the right size or too big by comparing them usually with the original screws that were in, and you see they're just too long, so probably wouldn't use those, whereas these ones here are actually a lot closer to the original size. And you know, if they're not, you can always try and use the original screws if you want to, so you can figure it out for yourself, a bit of logic. These are very nice. These are the satin chrome, which tells you just here on the pack. You can get different ones. I've got black ones as well. You can get gold, you can get whatever you want. Price might vary, but essentially they're all the same. And to unlock this, you just pull this mechanism here, and as you see, it frees this piece out. And that's basically how they work. Very, very simple but effective locking mechanism. So what I'm going to do is apply this piece first, and to do that you can see it's got a screw just in there, and it actually has a nice soft material piece here which cushions the guitar, and we didn't get that on the original one. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, but on this one we didn't, so it's cool. I have some spare of these anyway, which is handy, and we're going to put this bit on first. So to apply it, all we have to do is basically get it to the hole. Now what I like to do is just dust off any shelf. You sometimes get just a little bit of sawdust, it's quite natural for that to happen, and you put this like so against the hole, just give it a few little turns, nothing too much, just to get it in. Now you want this to go in straight, that's very important, so you be careful with that. Hopefully Fender in this case have put this hole very straight, it felt fine coming out, so it shouldn't be a problem. And I can do this fairly straightforward, fairly quickly. Let's see if that goes in as well as I expect it to. Seems just fine. And I do think this colour suits this guitar, as it has matching hardware. So in it goes. And you don't want to make it too tight. I mean, these turns are feeling just fine. There we go, and now it's starting to resist me, so I know that's not going anywhere. That is just fine. Don't want it too tight, and that's done. And I think there's potentially a little bit of extra length on these than the original, but such a small amount, it just gives you a bit of bite and compensates for the fact that they didn't have these before and now they do. So we're going to unlock this one, put that to one side, and this will go on the top horn. So we're going to fit this one now. So again, this is going to work just the same way. I'm just going to make sure there's no sawdust on there, which there isn't, and I'm just going to offer that up like so. Just give it a few turns, and all that's going to do is just literally get me started, and now I can screw it in and just make sure that it goes in properly. So I won't bore you with that, we'll get straight into the result. Alright, so now once you've done that, we just need to attach this side. That's how they look when they come out of the box. They're like that, and you take them apart. So you've got a nut, a washer, and then you have this part here. So just basically the solid bit, and you just push that through like so. Now when you push it through, you're going to get some resistance, and videos don't normally talk about this because it's time consuming, but I'm going to tell you now, it's a pain in the ass because you have to put it in and out a few times. If you've got a stiff strap or a really good new strap, quite often you have to do that to get these bits through, and it is worth it because you'll end up with a better strap and a better connection and a better lock, in my opinion. But you have to do that a few times till you get this clearance. And what I tend to find with a lot of the good straps that I like is actually these bits here stick up and get in your way. And you have a choice, you can either clip them or you can do what I do and just fight them until they sort of are beaten down. And I just think it gives you a tighter connection if you do that. So you do that, and the other important thing is this, it's all about angle. You have to get the angle correct for how it's going to lock onto your guitar, because what you don't want is the angle wrong. You want gravity on your side and not against you. So for example, you know, if that's the way it's going to hang and hold your guitar in like that, okay, then you want it that way. You don't want it that way, and your guitar could fall out if ever you accidentally unlocked it, you know. So think about that stuff, and also remember that with these, because you are actually using a nut and a washer, you do have to occasionally tighten these up. So far I don't think I've ever had to do it, but it's possible that you will have to at some point if it goes over many years. So just be aware of the possibility. I do think these are the best strap locks I've come across so far, but that is a potential weakness for them. So the battle begins and we do this, and what I do is I take them in and out. I'm going to do it again, and it just allows me to sort of stretch this. And you have to do this a little bit anyway when you get a new strap, because they don't want to go even over the standard old ones without a hell of a fight. So it's all part of having a new strap and that battle that you have to have with it to get it to what you want. And then, like I say, the washer goes in, and you have to try and get the clearance so that the washer is going to actually go over these screw heads, and if it doesn't go over the grooves, you're not going to get the connection. So I'm going to have this battle off camera, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay, so what I've done is I've won the fight with this, and I've got it started now, and that's great, and I've angled it so this is where it should be on the guitar. And the way I've done that is actually put this over my shoulder. I've decided this will be at the back end of the guitar, which is what I normally do, because I like to loop my lead through there. I'll talk about that another time. But effectively what I do is then I sort of figure out that's where it's going to clip onto the guitar, and the strap is going to go kind of that way to go around my shoulders, and this then can now be tightened. So adjusted this ready, and you can now see me tighten this up. So I'm just going to do that a little bit. And what you've got to watch is that you're not just turning the whole thing and it's not actually getting tighter, because that can happen. If it does, try doing it this way, and it does tend to work a little bit better if you do that. So it can take a few goes to get it tight enough, and you do want this quite tight. It's not so much like the bits that go into the guitar where you don't want to over tighten it. With this, actually you want this to be, you know, pretty much as tight as you can, because the tighter that nut is, the more security you're giving your guitar, the more secure the connection, the more firm the grip will be. So you won't regret tightening this up quite well. Okay, I think one more should be good. Yeah, that's it, that'll do. That's on nice and tight now, and it's at, I'd say, the right angle. So now I'm going to do the other side, and then we'll try on the guitar. All done. So I had to do a little bit of adjusting on this, and as I said, this is the process. So what you have to do is get your strap to the right length, and you adjust it pretty much the same way you would a backpack that you've probably got and probably done many times. So that's easy to figure out. And the other thing, like I say, is once you've actually got these all sorted out and you've won the fight, you probably have little bits of black material on your hands like I have from the strap as you sort of wear it in, and get these screw pieces through. That's the tricky part. But once you've done it and it's gripped on, give it some really good turns, because you'll notice as soon as you come to unscrew it to adjust for the gravity and how that works, and I'll look at that with you now, you'll see just how easy it is to unscrew it despite how much you tightened it. So do tighten it well. Now, as you can see here, the way this works, you pinch this to unlock it, and you'll notice that I have this facing, so it cups in a way to hook it in using gravity and to hold the guitar against that in such a way that gravity is on your side and not against you. You wouldn't want it the other way around, and there's no material there holding it in place other than just the clamp. You really do. And the same this side, and if I can get the camera angle, you might see there that it's actually cupping it the same way. And again, that unclips just the same way, and it looks pretty smart, and that's locked in. A little bit noisy because it has that little rattling noise, but nothing that's going to bother you really when you're playing away. Quite late at night, so I'm not going to play right now, but I've really enjoyed doing this video. It's interesting because I've fitted these strap locks maybe 5-6 times in the past with other guitars, and I've got it down to a fine art of about 5 minutes, maybe 7, something like that. And this actually took me ages because of filming it, and it's quite an interesting experience as this is my first video on the channel. So thank you so much for watching and sticking with me on that. Really appreciate it. If you're interested, please do subscribe. I'm going to do a review of this guitar. It's beautiful. As far as I know, there isn't one for a guitar in this colour yet up on YouTube, so I hope you'll check that out. And as well, if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm on there as 6shots. I throw up a few pictures and a few recordings, so thank you if you're interested in doing that, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.